All of our members have to do an orientation with us, and we walk them through what the expectations are of the program. And we also want to make sure that because it might be their first time using an electric vehicle, hey, it's going to drive similar to a regular vehicle, but you're going to have to charge it. It's really important. They might be walking by one of our locations and they see that one of our vehicles has a flat tire. So they call us, they communicate with us. And I think that's what's very different about us and something that has been very helpful.
Hello, Clever Habits Tribe, and welcome back to Season 7. Today, we're going to be talking about car sharing in rural areas. Why is that even important over there? I don't know, so I brought someone to explain it to you. I have with me Gloria Huerta. She is the COO of Míocar over in California in the San Joaquin Valley. Hey, Gloria, thanks for coming and just explaining this to us, because when I was reading about EVs in a rural area, I'm thinking, how does that even work?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to further speak to you about how Míocar came to be and how electric vehicles and car sharing are impacting rural parts of California.
Yes, first let's start with the name, because Míocar is a mixture of English and Spanish, because this area is a very big Spanish speaking community. Mío means mine, so mine car, literally. But how did this even start? I think it started in 2019, right?
Yes, my first day on the job was going to community meetings where we talked to community residents that lived in the areas where Míocar was going to start. We didn't have a name for the program. We were pitching names like Tuyo Car, Presta Car, Our Car, I believe. And Míocar actually stemmed from those community meetings. The residents were like, I don't want to drive a car that says Presta Car because Presta literally means like lending. I don't want to stop somewhere and somebody asks me like, what else do you lend? Things like that were very important for us to get community input as to how they wanted to see the program shaped in their community. So Míocar is a play on play of the Spanglish of the San Joaquin Valley. And it was really cool to see it start from those community meetings and now 5.5 years later see how Míocar has expanded. At those community meetings, we also discussed like what should the pricing be of the program. So our rates have stayed the same since 2019, $4 an hour, 35 for the day. What's included is insurance, maintenance, roadside assistance, and free recharging.
Yeah, to me, that is insane that you've been able to keep the prices the same for so long. So is Míocar able to keep that up? I'm glad you guys chose that name. It was the best option.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's just like, it's been great. It's like short and sweet. And we've been able to sustain the program through grants. We were originally funded by the California Air Resources Board through the Ecosystems of Shared Mobility program. So we originally launched in Tulare County and Kern counties. And the distance from our nearest site to our furthest site was a 2-hour drive. And now we received additional funding through different grants of the California Air Resources Board, Sustainable Transportation Equity Project, as well as the Clean Mobility Options, and some California Energy Commission funding. So we've expanded Míocar to Stockton and Richmond, and we'll soon be launching in Watsonville. So our service area has significantly grown. That 2-hour distance from nearest to furthest site is now like a 6 to 7 hour distance now between all of our sites.
Yay, that's awesome. And to give the viewers an idea who are like, where is this in California? Because Míocar is currently in California. Stockton is kind of right next to San Francisco, and the San Joaquin Valley is maybe about 4 or 5 hours from San Francisco and 2 hours from Los Angeles. So just to give you an idea of where we're talking about. Míocar also has requirements, but they also allow the AB60 licenses for people who don't have documents of legal residency. So even if you have some issues with that, you're still able to drive a Míocar if you meet the other requirements, which include even access to a prepaid card, not necessarily even having a bank account.
Yeah, we were very intentional because we are like equity focused and more environmental justice focused. Everything you just mentioned, we spoke to community members about, and that's something that was very important for them. They also indicated that they wanted to drive a vehicle that didn't seem like a clown car. And what I mean by a clown car is a vehicle that has all types of branding from all the different funding sources. So our vehicles say Míocar, but it's like super small on the passenger and the driver doors. The members expressed, I want to be driving with dignity and respect. I don't want people to think that this is like a government car and that like I'm using this because I'm poor or things like that. It was very important for us to get their input and not just do things without consulting with the community first.
Yeah, I can tell you put a lot of thought into it. I didn't even realize Míocar was a nonprofit until I did my research this morning. Now, with nonprofits, unfortunately, there is a certain context or connotation to that people think, yeah, you got to give all the time, every day, all day. But you were telling me before we started, Gloria, that you had some experience with other work that you did that helped you to set boundaries from the beginning to make sure it wouldn't become overwhelming for the team.
Yeah, so prior to getting into the electric vehicle car share world, I worked in the realm of intimate partner violence with both survivors and alleged offenders. I was dealing with people every single day, setting boundaries, expectations of like, this is what you're doing in group, or this is what's going to happen in a court setting. So for me, it was very important to bring that into this new role. So we do have a 24/7 call center. We do provide services in English and Spanish, but we're very clear. Monday to Friday, we have business hours. You can contact us for anything between the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Anything after hours is considered an emergency. So if a member calls after hours and they have an issue with the vehicle, we assist them with that. If they call after hours to ask about questions about membership, billing, unfortunately, that's not something we're able to do. And it's something that we tell all of our members. So Mealcar is also a little different in how we onboard people that sign up. If you're signing up for Zipcar, I think you are able to download the app, sign up, you're approved. It's like more intimate with us. All of our members have to do an orientation with us, and the orientation can either be done via video call, in person, or just a phone call. And we walk them through what the expectations are of the program. And we also want to make sure that because it might be their first time using an electric vehicle, hey, it's going to drive similar to a regular vehicle, but you're gonna have to charge it. It's really important. They might be walking by one of our locations and they see that one of our vehicles has a flat tire. So they call us, they communicate with us. And I think that's what's very different about us and something that has been very helpful that I was able to bring on from my previous work experience.
Wow, it really is community. They're not even going to take it that day. That's nice. Well, now that your role has changed because you started from the beginning, kind of like a gopher, to go do everything and talk to everybody, but now you're the COO. And most of us have heard CEO, CFO, but it's still a bit of a mystery what a COO does. So what do you do?
I would say I continue to wear all the hats. We've hired new staff members that are able to take care of issues on the ground. As a COO, I work with our executive director as well as our board on what the vision and mission of the company is. We're looking at long-term sustainability of Míocar, what that entails, looking at grants, fixing fires, working with the team that I manage, and also like professional development for the team. I've also been more active with going to conferences, just speaking with different people about what Míocar is doing. Yeah, I feel like I wear a lot of different hats, not as much as what I all the hats I used to wear when I initially started, but, I think it's also important with our new staff hires that they're able to see that I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, so if there's a day in which, I need to go work on the ground, more than happy to. When I started, I was the person in charge of the 24/7 call center. I was a bilingual person for a while. I was also taking care of the vehicles, making sure they were clean, taking them to the car wash, going to all the sites, making sure everything was in place. If there was an emergency, I was the person jumping vehicles, trying to figure out how it worked, and then developing protocols. I really enjoy it when we have issues with cars, when they break down, because it helps us to better understand if a member calls in the future, how we can walk them through what the situation might be and how our team will respond to it. My role is constantly changing. Every day's a little different. I love what I do, and I'm happy to do a little bit of everything.
All right. You're the backbone nervous system of Míocar, it sounds like.
A little bit.
To share two other stats that I found, which I was like, that's so messed up. In a rural area, you have one charger for every 6,500 people. In a city, you probably have one charger for every 1,500 people. Really glad to see Míocar addressing that. How is it also maybe helping families that they might not be able to afford a car right now? How is it helping them to have more opportunities?
Wherever we're deployed, we have dedicated charging stations. And in those rural areas, we have anywhere between 2 to 6 vehicles deployed. We want to make sure we have the chargers. That's been very important for us. Regarding the people that might not have access to a vehicle, when we originally launched, we had a member who lived in Kern County. They were like 20 minutes away from a big city. They only had one vehicle. Their partner would take the vehicle to work, and this member would use the vehicle every single day for an hour, maybe take 2 or 3 trips that day. And they would take their kids to school, go grocery shopping. So we, as a nonprofit, have worked with UC Davis, the ITS department, Institute of Transportation Studies department, specifically with Caroline Rodier. And we've worked with her to implement surveys that we give all of our members. So we have a new member survey, and then we have a trip survey. And we compensate all of our members for filling out the survey. So the after trip survey, we give 1 free hour of driving credit if a member fills that out. That member was able to take 500 trips that were free of cost to them because they filled out the survey. So I know that Míocar really made an impact in their household.
That's a great story. I had a question, but the story has me like so emotional. I forgot my question.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's a good thing. I'm thinking how wonderful it is. Give me a second. Whew. Okay. I'm so glad that I found you on LinkedIn. LinkedIn brings me all sorts of very interesting people. But Gloria, can you tell us where we can follow you online and also Míocar to maybe help out or get more information about this?
You can check out our website, míocar.org. We're also on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, it's Míocar-CA. Facebook, I believe it's the same thing. So we've been working on doing more educational videos and pictures that we can share with our members on like how to charge. Hey, this new site is coming online, places to visit if they're in the area, things like that. And then if anyone is interested in reaching out to me, Gloria Huerta, or if you look up Míocar, you should be able to find me.
All right, that's great. Everyone, thank you so much for staying with us until the end. I know we're at a bit of a crossroads with EVs right now, but to end here, I want to go ahead and wrap up with this quote from UC Berkeley, the Transportation Sustainability Center. They said, for every car share vehicle deployed, 7 to 11 others were taken off the road or were never put there in the first place. So think about that when you decide whether you're going to buy a car that you're not going to use very often or just get a car sharing service. This is GabyV for Clever Hybrids, and we'll see you in the next one.